Alrighty guys, as it came in the Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video. This is going to be for season 107. The last season we did end off at rank 6,269, and that was with using the powerful opponent. For the first time using powerful opponent for me, I think we did pretty good, if I'm being real honest with you. I did overestimate my damage a lot during that season, so we did make a couple of changes to the graphic. And of course, I always do have to mention and shout out to doomgeta, Aflac, Tai, GMC, fuck all those guys over in the Discord server. There will be two links in the description, one of them linking to doomgeta's personally owned Discord server, which is the Celestials. You can get ToP help there. And then the second one being the Dragon Ball Legends Discord server. Unofficial. I've been saying official like for ever since they came into the game to help me with these videos. It's unofficial. So those two links will be in the description down below, both of which you can get tons and tons of ToP help. And of course, there will always be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go if you just need one little snippet of the video and you need to get out, and then that's why they're there. And really quickly before we get into the actual path, get your friendship rank up, especially if you're running the same team over and over season to season, right? Nothing's really changing except for your boost units, and maybe if a new unit comes up that's pretty good that you want to try out, get your units to friendship rank 10. That friendship rank is going to directly influence an increase in stats for ToP specifically. These are the ToP stats of my Super Baby 2 versus the regular stats of my Super Baby 2. Get your friendship rank up. And the way to do that is just doing the Let's Fight events. You get 3 of these a day, so make sure you guys are doing them. And specifically for the anniversary right now, there's this stage in this specific event, the Hercule fights, where this gives a lot of friendship points. All right, so this is part 1 and part 2, left and right hand side, right? So you have part 1, 3 difficult fights, part 2, 4 difficult fights. This one might be a little bit difficult for you. You can also notice that we have the GMC watermark on these. So this path was actually created by GMC, so we have to go ahead and give him his flowers, give him his props, his respect. There is one alternate fight in part 1, and of course these are color coded for you guys, so you guys know exactly where to bring out your boost units. In the gray path, it doesn't really matter, just use your strongest units, right? It doesn't really matter. And then once you start getting into the orange territory, that's where you need to start busting out the high tiers, your S tiers and your Z tiers. So next we have the color wheel. So we have blue units coming in at a total of 6. These are specifically catered towards the hard fights, right? So 6 blues, 7 reds, 4 yellows, 1 purple, and 2 greens. So just looking off of this, blue units, you're going to want to be careful with overloading on the red units, right? You're going to want to be careful with overloading on the yellow units. But say you run like 3 blues, 4 blues, I don't think that's going to be the end of the world for you, just because there's not many threatening greens, right? I think this specifically is helpful for when you don't have a unit on a team and you need a replacement. You refer to this and you can kind of see what color is my team maybe lacking, or what color do I maybe need more of, you know what I mean? And then secondary to that, we have the strike prediction wheel, or well, the cover prediction wheel, right? So basically, there's going to be a total of 6 strike covers, 3 strike counters, and then for blast covers it's going to be 4, and blast counters it's going to be 3. So altogether you have 9 strike mitigations essentially, and altogether you have 7 blast mitigations essentially, right? And that's a very close number. Usually it's a much bigger gap. So when it's that close, you're gonna be good either way. If you run a strike team or if you run a blast team, you're gonna be okay. And for universal covers, there's only one of them. Alright, so for the first fight we're going to take a look at is going to be this Frieza Force, or well, I mean, it's just an all Frieza fight right here, right? So right off rip, highlight unit here is going to be this guy, this full power Frieza. For blast teams, you're going to want to take this guy out first. If you're not a blast team, you're a strike team, you can go for him mid priority, so somewhere in the 3-4 range, right? But the reason why I'm saying this is because once you hit him with the blast arts, he mitigates it, he gets 100% to his special move gauge, he super attacks you. He's a very slow unit, that's why if you're a blast team, you take him out first, you go for him first, because even if you pop that mitigation, you're still going to probably be able to kill him before he gets it off. And then after that, this guy is going to be your 6 slot unit, just because of the revival aspect. Next, we do have this fight right here. So I still don't know what to call this fight. I used to call it like the fake fusions fight, and just because, like, I mean, there's Omega in there, there's the Super 17 kind of fusions, right? But anyways, highlight unit here, there's like the big 3 of this fight, I guess. So Gogeta, he will stun you and super attack you on turn 3. You have a little bit of time to get him out before that, so if you have the damage, the output, go for the Vegeta. This guy is quote-unquote recent unit, right? He's not like brand spanking new, but he's gonna have some decent damage to unload on you. And then of course this guy is going to be another priority unit, this Super Vegito. He usually has a strike cover for someone. So those three are the big three. Of course, if for whatever reason you don't think your team can take out these two before round 3, then focus the Gogeta down, right? You want to get him out of the way before he supers you. And then your 6-slot unit is usually going to be the Ultra Omega. All right, so next you do have this Krillin fight. Honestly, I kind of didn't want to talk about it, but I guess I will. This Krillin, this blue one, is going to stun you on turn 1. You don't have to worry about a stun from this guy. He only gets his Solar Flare ability once he's Zenkai Awakened. We don't have to fight against Zenkai units yet. But so, yeah, so just one stun right here. And then I guess the tag unit, right, can be annoying just because of the tag units usually are annoying. And then this yellow Krillin, you do want to be careful with him. He can pop the super attack on you. Just because he takes a while to go down. He's a little tanky, right? And the more you hit him, the more of that gauge that he's building up. So definitely do be cautious about that. And another thing to mention about this guy specifically is that he does give death buffs for his allies. And so, and this is your first hard fight of part 1. So against event exclusive, again, if you have a fast team, right, and being fast is determined by your key recovery. High key recovery means you're going to attack faster than your opponents. If you have a fast team, this is going to be no issue for you guys. So definitely top priority here is going to be this Raditz. He super attacks you on turn 1. He's a little bit slow. If you're able to just get him out of the way, just pop him before you go for anyone else, you're going to be 100% okay. And then after that is usually you go for the DKP, since he has some pretty good debuffs applying to you, and then this Broly for the same reason also applying some pretty good debuffs to you. And then honestly, like, the fight's just easy peasy, and then typically we do go for the Bojack last. Actually had the Dragon Fist stage. I feel like we haven't seen this in a while, and usually we see it with the red Tapion. So the big 3 of this fight, I would say, is definitely the yellow Tapion. He's debuffing you pretty substantially every single fight, or at the start of the turn, right? So get him out of the way, get Dragon Fist out of the way. Dragon Fist has probably the best damage here. And then usually people do tend to go for the purple Tapion last. And that's because he's debuffing your team once he gets hit. And so I definitely understand wanting to go for him last, but he has a non-health gated cover change, a strike cover change, right? So sometimes you're going to pop that regardless. So, I mean, if you want to go for him last, go for him last. If not, I don't think it's a big deal. We have the return of the Super Saiyan 2 fight. I don't think this one's also going to be a difficult one, right? Like Trunks Vegeta, that's going to be high priority tag unit, right? Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he's going to be high priority because he's getting buffed up every time you kill one of his allies. And then your last unit is going to be the Majin Vegeta, because he will suicide bomb you if he's at 15% or lower. So this fight, I can understand where people think this fight is like annoying, because it is annoying. So high priority Broly, don't let him stun you on turn 2, don't let him transform on turn 3 especially, because then he gets a chance to double attack. So 100% that's going to be your first slotted unit. And then Videl, another high priority unit. And then there's a lot of good 6-slot units here, if I'm being real honest with you. So this Goku, he has death buffs, right? He has death buffs for his allies. I probably would put him in the 5th slot or 4th slot, because this Gohan also wants to be in the 6th slot, just because he gets like all his stuff, all his buffs once he gets to below 50% HP. And then of course this Broly, purple Broly, he gets a barrier, right? He has a barrier that debuffs your team's strike damage received when activated. So like these 3 definitely towards the end, these 2 at the beginning. Goten, he's like in the middle. All right, so next we have this team. I hate this team. Your attack order is going to look different, especially if you're running Blast team versus a Strike team. A high priority though, so Ultra Vegito Blue has counters a strike and has the ability to double attack. Sometimes, like if you're a Strike team, you may want to opt for taking him out a little bit later because of that aspect, right? Ultra Super Vegito has a Blast counter, so usually people take him last if you're a Blast team. Plus he has a strike cover for someone, right? So many cover changes here. Fusing Super Vegito needs to be killed before he actually transforms. The LF Blue Vegito Blue, he has a chance to double attack, has a blast cover. And then low priority, the only units that you don't really necessarily have to care about are the purples. But even then, the LF Super Vegito has a strike cover for someone usually. The purple VB does pretty much nothing. Like he's a nothing burger. Next, we have this fight right here. Again, this looks incredibly easy. Like, this looks awesome for us. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku does have a high key restore speed, transformation stats, and a guaranteed blue card on turn 2. So just get him out of the way, get the hit out of the way. He has a strike cover, like 30% HP gated or something like that. And then probably the Dispo, just because he's building up his crit buffs. And then for your alternate fight, you have this one, and I feel like we don't fight this one a lot. I guess we can briefly talk about it. There's only 2 high priority units, to be honest with you, though. It's the Bola, for sure. She's buffing, healing, strike covers, all that stuff, right? And then it's going to be the Parasite Trunks. He's debuffing, and then he's really good against Saiyan / hybrid Saiyans, right? You got to be careful with him. Plus, he usually has a strike cover. So those 2, and then you're pretty much just chilling after that. And then you have your midway boss. So you have the high priorities Ultra Broly. Strike blast cover for someone usually, right? He stuns on turn 2, debuffs a unit on one of your units on turn 2, so you want him to get him out of the way. And then of course the red Broly also stuns on turn 2. You want to get him out of the way. You definitely don't want to let him transform, right? And after those 2, usually you'll go for this blue Broly, this EX Broly, and then you'll save the barrier Brolys for last, right? Purple Broly, he's going to nullify one with his barrier. Green Broly is going to nullify something with his barrier, right? That goes for strike and for blast. Next, we have this, bro, this fight actually was kind of annoying to me last season with powerful opponent, right? High priority, definitely going to be the tag unit. Tag 17, 18. 13 has a super attack on turn 3, so definitely get him out of the way if you're not confident. If you don't feel like you can kill him before that turn 3 super attack, right? Get him out of the way. Gamma 1 has debuffs for the middle row. Gamma 2 is like getting stronger every turn. 19 unfortunately does possess a blast cover, usually to the left and right blocks to the side of him, right? And then Android 8 does get, he gives death buffs for all his allies. I definitely would kill the Android 8. I would kill 8er before I go for the 19, right? That's just me personally. All right, so this one's actually interesting to me. So you have the Boo fight, and it looks significantly like dumbed down for us, which I'm grateful for. I'm not mad about at all. So high priority is definitely going to be that Ultra Kid Boo right there, right? He's going to be having high damage, strike cover change. Usually, sometimes you see Boo tanks on this fight, right? No Boo tanks right here, so no guaranteed blue card turn 1. And then for mid priority, you have the Super Boo who's stunning a unit on turn 3. You have the Fat Boo who's debuffing your middle row. He also has like heals for his, like a one-time heal, right? And then you have the Boo Han, who usually has a strike cover for someone, has the chance to double attack as well. And then you have this Kid Boo right here. He has debuffs, so pretty decent debuffs. And then this guy's usually your last picked unit or a last attacked unit. He has a blast cover for someone, but this doesn't look bad, right? This looks all right. Next, we have this fight, another event exclusive fight, right? So high priority is going to be the base form Broly is going to be debuffing you. Metal Cooler is buffing, like he has a lot of support for his allies, so those 2 are definitely going to be the high priorities. And then the Android 13 has extra damage against Saiyans, gets more damage on turn 2. So boom, big 3 right there. I would also say the Green Cooler is mid priority, and then your last 2 units is your 5th slot's going to be the Barrier Broly, probably, because he uses the barrier, he debuffs you. And then this Broly, he's just getting buffs every time you hit, or not every time you hit him, but for 2 times, right? You hit him 2 times, he's going to be getting buffed up. So usually we go for him last. Personally, though, I'm not going to be upset if you go for the purple Broly last and then this guy in the 5th slot. So I guess we can just mark them both as 6. You know what I mean? Next, we got LOE. So just real quick, I'm not going to highlight this guy, but this guy will stun you on turn 1. You can't do anything about it unless you have a unit like Garlic Jr., MVP 17, someone that can cancel those with normal conditions, right? He's going to stun you. What you can avoid, though, is the Frost stun. Frost stuns you on turn 2, so kill him turn 1, easy peasy. Get this red LF Cooler out of the way, boom, your 2 high priorities for this fight. And then the Revival Frieza 6-slot unit because of the Revival. Next, we do have the Goku Bardock fight. So screw everyone. I mean, obviously, some notable units. Bardock, he's a little bit annoying, has a blast cover, right? Fasha is going to stun you on a blast arts hit, whatever. I want you to focus on the Goku Bardock unit because if you super attack him, he will get 100% to his own special move gauge and super attack you right back. We used a super attack on him with our Rose. It was a 5-star Rose, mind you. And we only did 50% of his HP, and that was at a 3 Fizz difficulty fight. He can be pretty tanky, so definitely just cautious, right? Caution, that's the key for this fight. Don't let them super attack you. With Rose, it was fine though. If you are using Rose, even if he's a 5-star, Rose is also stunning on his super attack, so Rose users, you guys are chilling. All right, and before we get into our top teams for the season, please pause if you guys need to. I'm putting up the image right now. If you guys are confused on any of the icons that are going to be shown on the graphics, this is what you're going to refer to. This is the legend/guide for just in case something might be confusing to you. Maybe the arrows are confusing to you, right? Because if you're just coming into this for the first time, you're like, what the hell is all this on my screen? Which is valid. Sometimes these can be a little bit cluttered, and I don't really have a solution to that. So refer to this. All right, so first thing we are going to be talking about is regeneration. Are you guys happy? Are you guys like rejoicing right now? Regeneration. I promised you guys an easy season for the anniversary. This is going to be our easy season right here. I believe that regeneration is just absolutely just bread and butter. You can run it every single season for the rest of your Dragon Ball Legends career until the day that you die or Legends shuts down. You can use regeneration. So this is the team we're going to be using. It does look a little different from the graphic that we have up there. So I personally, if you don't have Ultra Cell, I'm going to use Ultra Cell. If you don't have Ultra Cell, use the right hand, use the graphic for the basis of building your team. If you do have Ultra Cell, you want to use him, I have him at 5 stars, usable at 5 stars, then you can go ahead and throw together the team I'm using right here. So for your core unit, of course, the Super Baby 2, he's always going to be a part of this team, always going to be a part of the GT team. He's just a bread and butter unit, right? And then for boost units, on the graphic side, you have Z-tier Nail, S-tier Healing Piccolo. For me, I'm using Z-tier Cell and S-tier Imperfect Cell right here. And there's a reason for that. So this guy, I honestly think he's on the same tier as Nail. I think they're interchangeable. This guy has debuffs and stuff like that. You don't really, I mean, it's not like game breaking or anything like that, right? But it's just the fact that this Cell, he's going to benefit off having the androids because of his Ultra ability, right? He's getting that 5% damage plus 5% to key recovery. That's going to add up with our android members. So same reasoning for that. That's why we have this Cell over the yellow Healing Piccolo. And I think that yellow Healing Piccolo sucks, bro. If I'm being real honest with you, listen, hold on. I feel like that SpongeBob meme right now. I don't think he's bad, especially considering that for your high tiers, you just want them to live. But for me, at least, for me, in my experience, at Friendship Rank 10, like, I'll show you guys, I have him at Friendship Rank 10. He gets so close to dying every single time for me. So close. He doesn't really have any utility outside of just having a little bit of damage cut and some heals. At least with this blue Cell, he is going to have a little bit of utility with the Solar Flare, right? The only thing about him is that he's not getting any damage cut, so who knows, maybe he's just going to die for me. But I do have him at Friendship Rank 10 though. And then of course some other differences in here are going to be this purple Cell over, and we're going to switch him over to Blast. This is a Blast-based team. We're going to switch him over to Blast. Purple Cell over the purple Piccolo. This green Cell over the Parasite Trunks. Again, just so both of those units are very good, by the way. It's not just because I'm trying to fill the gap for the Ultra Cell ability. They are very good. And then, of course, for the red unit, the 1-to-1 is going to be that Zenkai Zamasu. Personally, if I'm being 100% honest, 5-star Cell versus 14-star Zenkai Zamasu, I think Zamasu actually edges him out. So now let's talk about GT right here, right? So this is going to be the blast-based GT right here, core unit Super Baby 2. Like I said, he's not going anywhere on Regen or this team right here. For your boost units, you have that Z-tier Trunks. I know, listen, he's hard to have, right? He's hard to obtain. You do have some Z-tier replacements though, 2 of them specifically, right? One of them being that Sin Shinron and the Baby Vegeta Form 1. And then you have the S-tier Omega Shenron right there. That guy's pretty good. Green Ruff actually would use him a lot on regeneration. I don't know if he still uses him. I feel like he does. But those are going to be your boost units. You have the Super 17, just absolute, like, your damage dealer, right? He's damage dealer incarnate. He uses and abuses yellow units. He has the chance to double attack on yellow units, right? You have the Parasite Trunks, very good against Saiyans / Hybrid Saiyans. You have the Spirit Bomb Goku, who can be pretty tanky. Plus, he does have a Solar Flare ability. I believe it's on turn 2. Majib can be pretty tanky too, right? He hits his green card, he heals off of that. And then you have the Hellfighter 17. That guy is probably like your bread and butter for debuffs on this team, right? Then next we have GT, but the Strike Brace version. So of course, Baby is still going to be here. Super Baby, there's 3 Super Baby 2s here. So the blue one, that's going to be your healer. It's always going to be here, core unit. For your boost units, you have the Z-tier Red Baby. That guy's only getting cut against Saiyans, so definitely keep that in mind. Be careful about that. Keep him alive. Of course, that's your only Z tier unit. Then you have the S tier yellow free-to-play 17. That guy, he actually has some pretty strong debuffs. And then on the main team, you do have the Zenkai Omega Shenron. That guy, he has a stun available to him. You have a stun with the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku. You have both of the Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas. And then you also have the yellow Super Baby 2, who has a strike counter. Not only is he having that strike counter too, what's nice about him is that once he does activate his green card, he's healing himself, he's canceling abnormal conditions, downgrades, all that good stuff, and then he's also hitting all enemies with minus 15% key recovery. So now let's talk about Universe Reps. So they actually got a pretty big upgrade, especially since we're just getting a lot of Uni Reps type stuff, right? So for your core unit, Bergamo, right? Not only is it Bergamo, he's giving your HPZ ability, he has the barrier shield, he's a Zenkai unit, a lot of survivability there. And then you have the green free-to-play Angel Frieza. That guy we've already kind of gone over why he's like an important aspect of it. He heals the whole board, by the way. He's healing, he just has that good support, and he's also debuffing. For your boost units, you have the Z tier green Zenkai Kaba. He's also debuffing pretty significantly. You have the Z tier Vado, so 2 Z tiers, right? That's pretty strong, I would say. I think that's pretty strong. You're going to basically be guaranteed the 1000 CC. This is a really easy team to run. I am going to use this team next season. I'm letting you guys know right now. I feel like if you have the components of this team, you should run them now. One of the Universe Reps teams, because we also have the Strike team coming up. Just because all the units that had just released, they're all in A tier right now, right? And that's only going to be for this season. Next season, they're probably going to get dumped all the way down to C tier. And then for other aspects of the team, you do have the Jiren, turn 1 stun, MVP 17 support. You have the Golden Frieza. Remember, Golden Frieza, Golden Tile. I know there's 2 Golden Friezas now, so I don't really know how to like make this work now, but the yellow Golden Frieza goes on the Golden Tile, right? So yellow with yellow. I guess that's what you kind of have to mirror it as. And then you do have some new units on here. You have the Jiren. The Jiren is kind of weird. So unless someone tells me in the comments like, hey, that purple Jiren is dog shit, we'll take him off, right? But obviously I haven't tested him. I don't know if people are testing him. And then the red Kaba I hear is very, very good. And so next we do have the Unirep Strike. So usually this is like an on and off team, but since we got so many new units here, it works, right? It works. So for core units, there is none. No core units here. For your boost units, you have the Z tier Vados and the S tier Champa. And then on the main team, you have the Go Frieza tag unit. You have the healer Kale. You have the red MEY with the evade mechanic, right? That also is able to deal some damage to your opponent. You have the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken guarantee blue card on turn 2. And then you have the new units of MUI transforming Goku, and then the Kale and Caulifla tag unit. Both of those units are pretty good. We talked about them last season. I think the only thing that I really wanted more out of the Kale and Caulifla was being able to automatically tag out when going up against an unfavorable element, right? But this team looks pretty damn solid, and the Kaba is flexible enough to fit on this team. If you wanted to maybe test him, use him instead of the red MUI Goku. I don't know if that's the correct play there. That's something I would experiment with that, right? I would definitely experiment with that. And then the purple Jiren's here too. And we're going to talk about that later. The purple Jiren, his kit is just weird to me. When I read it, it's weird to me. So next we do have Sagas from the movies. This is the strike-based team right here. So core unit is going to be Pan, HPZ ability, Z tier with the blue Gohan. I know, it's again, those units are hard to have, right? But you do have replacements available to you. And then S tier is going to be that free-to-play Tapion. And on the main team, obviously both of the Beast Gohans are good, but your bread and butter unit is 100% that Green God Goku. That Green God Goku is getting a guaranteed blue card turn 1. You can turn that into the ultimate. You can do some big damage right there, right? Another S tier that I forgot to mention was the Daze. Daze is right there too. He's pretty solid. He's probably, because I remember last season we had Ultimate Gohan on here. So he's probably going to be the designated purple for this team for now until we get a new one. And then you have the yellow Tapion up there who does act as a healer, but only for 1 block right behind him. He's also debuffing the enemy team. So next we got Saga's Blast. So your core unit is going to be Roshi, HPZ ability buffer, and then for your boost unit, you have that Metal Cooler, has really good support for your team, right? Key restore speed, support, some other stuff as well. He's a free-to-play unit. That's your S tier, and then you have the Z tier purple Bardock. That, This one is going to be rough to play around personally, I think, at least, because you don't have any other Z tier replacements. So if you don't have that Bardock, you're going to have to rock with 3 S tiers. So you're going to have to replace the Bardock with an S tier and then replace one of your main units with an S tier, which some of you guys might not want to do, right? It is a little bit annoying. And then so on the main team, you have the Ultimate Piccolo providing support for his team. You have the blue free-to-play Gohan, buffs against PO. You have he's the pick over Blue Beast, right? He's the Blue Beast equivalent for the Blast team. Maybe not equivalent, but he's really good, right? He's up there. Then you have the Tag Gammas. You have the Pycon, has really good debuffs, revival unit, all that good stuff. And then you have the Go Pickle, the tag unit there as well. Next, we do have the girls team. This is a hard team to run. I say this every single time we portray this team. If you're gonna run this team, you should be able to tell me what every unit on this team can do, is essentially what I'm telling you. This isn't a team that you should just be a beginner person or beginner player rather, and just be like, oh, I'm gonna use that team, I have all these units, right? I think if it was truly up to me, I would probably just put Red Star on all these units. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable running this team unless I had everyone in the Red Star range. No core unit. You have a lot of boost units. You have Z tier Vados, Z tier EX Mai, S tier free to play Kefla, and then S tier Zenkai Blue Bulma. You have the healer healer Kale. You have the assist unit Kale and Caulifla, sometimes portrayed on the Saiyans team, right? And I guess you do kind of have the new addition of the Kale and Caulifla unit. They are more so a strike unit, though. That's the only thing that I will say. I don't think the gap in stats is massive to the point where it's like, this is brain dead, you shouldn't put this unit on the blast base team. But obviously they don't have a blast base Z ability, so that's more than likely why you're still keeping the assist unit rather than the tag unit. Because if you look at the strike and the blast stats, it's like under a 20k difference. And then there's nothing in her kit specifically that wants her to be restricted to the strike itself, because she's just getting regular damage inflicted. But I think this is the biggest thing right here, is that her strike attack, right? Your Z ability is focused around the strike attack. And now we are at hybrids. So hybrids, a core unit, still pan HP Z ability buffer. You have your S tier Purple Kid Gohan. You actually have some decent S tiers though. You have that Zenkai Red Trunks, you have the free-to-play Blue Trunks, you have the tag unit, Future Gohan and Trunks, the EX, right? And then for your Z tier, it's that Green Trunks, with only one Z tier replacement being the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan EX. On the main team, you have the Yellow Beast Gohan, you have the tag unit Grunks, fantastic unit, right? Also revival unit, or is that what they're called? I don't know. I guess it's kind of, but then you have the Fat Gotenks for the support. You have the blue free-to-play Gohan as your mini Beast Gohan. That's better suited for the Blast teams, right? And then you have the Ultra Green Gohan. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you can replace him with the Revival Green Gohan, one that is the Piccolo Assist unit, but the Ultra Gohan is definitely better. He does have a strike counter, and when he strike counters, he gets 100% to his blue card. And next we have the strike-based version. So Pan is still your core unit here, HPZ ability buff. And then you have your S-tier Goten. Goten is actually, I like him a lot, bro. You do want him in the Red Star range, preferably maxed out. He does get a guaranteed blue card on turn 2. Then your Z-tier is that blue Gohan from the Broly movie. But you actually do have a couple Z-tier replacements. Someone that doomgeta likes a lot actually is that purple transforming Trunks right there. So if you need a replacement for him, boom, you slide him on. For the main team, you have the Gotenk support, you have Double Beast Gohans, you have that Green Trunks, who's a heavy hitter. He's a very good unit. And then you also have the tag unit with the Goku Vegeta up there. Next, we do got LOE. LOE just got that big upgrade with the Green Frieza. Now we have 3 core units on here. So the Green Frieza, Revival Frieza, and the Chilled. So Chilled is your HP buffer. Revival is he has support / pseudo heals. And then the Green has heals for the whole team. He has some big heals right there. I mean, it's not necessarily massive, huge, enormous heals, but heals for the whole team is big, right? That's good. Z tier Red Frieza. I just pulled that guy. We actually might have to use him. And then we have the S tier green Frieza. So only one Z tier replacement being that purple metal cool, or not metal cooler, the purple transforming cooler. So definitely he's a little sketch to me. I haven't tested him, haven't used him, but he is a little sketch to me. So just be careful if you are using him. Probably want him maxed out with the friendship rank, all that good stuff. For main team, you have double stuns right here with the red Frieza and the green Zenkai cooler, and then you have the yellow golden Frieza. So yellow golden Frieza, put him on the golden tile, upgrade that special move arts, and you're good to go. So now we have the Frieza Force. So core unit is, we only have the one here. So you just have the core unit of the green Frieza, and that's all we're doing right here. You have some other option, obviously, like if you want to use the Revival Frieza, he's still an option. The Naval's still an option. But for the team that has been crafted, it is just the one core unit with that green Frieza right there. For your boost units, you have the Apul, you have the Raspberry, and you have the Monray. Now, you can replace the Raspberry straight 1-to-1 essentially with that red Frieza if you want to just sub out one of these units so that you can have just the Z tier and the S tier for that 30% and probably bring in a more powerful unit. That's completely up to you. For the main team, you do have double stuns here. You have the red Frieza and the purple LF Frieza. You have debuffs with the base Broly, free to play, and then you have the yellow Frieza, yellow tile, keep them there. Next, we do got the androids. So no core unit. Closest thing you're gonna get to a core unit is the yellow Cell. He's a healer and he's an HPZ ability buffer. He's pretty good. He's usually always here. Since he got his Zenkai, he's been here for a while now. He's like an OG of the team, I would say at this. Maybe not an OG of the team, but he's been here for a while. For your boost units, you have 3 S tiers. You have the S tier free to play 18 red. You have the Cell Junior, and then you also have the Android 14, the green one up there. Now, you don't have a whole lot of Z tier replacements. That purple Cell isn't the worst thing in the world. I've used them on regeneration, so again, another one of those situations if you want to sub out an S tier and just run 30% with the Z and the S and get someone stronger on there, completely and utterly up to you, right? Because for me personally, I'm probably subbing out the green, that green android, putting in the purple Cell, and then putting in the ultra Cell instead of the red 18 if I'm running this team. But so the main team, you have the Majin 21, has a stun, is Zenkai'd, all that good stuff. You have the purple LF Cell. That dude's really, really strong on a blast team. He's dishing out blast debuffs. He's dishing out good damage. He can be replaced by the Zenkai LF Cell, right? That's what we do since I don't have that cell at a good amount of stars. You have the Gammas 1 and 2 tag unit, and then you have the MVP 17 support. Next, we have the Taunthan team. Taunthan, Sun Family team, whatever you may call it. Taunthan is still, that's what it's named after, right? He's always going to be here. That's why he's the core unit here. Z tier, you have the blue Gohan. For your S tier, you have the Goten, who's going to be giving you a guaranteed super attack on turn 2. There is no Z tier replacements on this, so if you do not have that Gohan, you're going to have to swap someone out from the main team and run 3 S tiers because you want that 30%, right? You want that 30%. For the main team, you have triple beast, right? Yellow beast, blue beast, red beast, all the beasts. You have Goten for some support / heals, pseudo heals, not big heals, right? And then you have the God Goku, bread and butter right there. That's your turn 1 super attacker. Keep him on the yellow tile, you'll get that ultimate arts. Next, we do got a powerful opponent. So this is a team we ran last season right here. So core unit is that yellow Broly. That yellow Broly was fantastic for us. That's your HBZ ability. And then for your Z tier, you have the red Frieza. You have the S tier Tapion, who's also a healer, right? Just for one little tile. Healer, debuffer, he's a really good unit. And then for the main team, you have Ultra Rose. So as you can see, we have changed it from him only being required to be ran at 5 stars or recommended at 5 stars. He's now required or recommended at 2 copies, right? Which is going to put you above the 7 stars. That's why he's at the pink star. Yeah, he's a very good unit, very good kit, but you do want some more power behind that super attack, right? Then you have Garlic Jr., you have the Blue Goku Black support, you have the purple Cell right there, or that he's just amazing against hybrids and Saiyans, right? And then you have the Zenkai Zamasu, very powerful team right here, hence the powerful opponent tag. So we used that Z tier Goku Black last season, and he just wasn't cutting it for me, man. I did forget the red arrow somehow on the green Vegeta, but he is also a Z tier. There's a whole lot of S tier options here though. And again, in the bottom, you can see that we have added the purple Jiren. We will talk about him. Do not worry, we will talk about him. And so next we have event exclusive. So 2 core units here. The green Frieza, the event exclusive. That dude, like, look at how many teams he's on, bro. He's just everywhere. We got him. We have the Pui HPZ ability buffer. The green Frieza does have support, right? He's healing the whole team, all that good stuff. And then for your S tiers, you have the red 18, you have the yellow Monray, and then you have the blue metal cooler. You have support and debuffs coming out of the blue Bulma. And you also have debuffs coming out of the Sin Shinron as well. So now let's talk Saiyans. We got the strike-based version. This is the last team of the video right here. For your core unit, none. There is none. For your boost units, you have the Z tier yellow Broly. It's a pretty popular option, right? Sometimes you see him in here. Sometimes you see him on movies, right? You see him around. And then you have the S tier Kaioken Goku. He's going to get a super attack. He gets 100% to his gauge at the end of turn 2, so going into turn 3, that's when he launches it, right? And then for the main team, you do have the healer, your number 1 Vegeta. You have the Daima Goku. Daima Goku, he's one of the, I really ended up liking him a lot, the green one, because he's like buffing your ki recovery. You make sure your unit's extremely fast. Like you get almost all your units to attack before your enemy does, which is nice, right? And then of course you have the God Goku, bread and butter right there combo. That's your turn 1 super attacker, right? You have the tag unit Goku Frieza, and then you have the Daima Red Goku, who's just putting out a lot of damage. Maybe you guys can try this with the Kaba though, low key. I don't know. I just want to throw the Kaba everywhere just because I keep hearing how good he is, like in play. Oh, and then of course the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's like he's I know this kind of sounds bad. He's like a watered down Blue Beast Gohan. He's not as personally, I don't think he's as good as the Blue Beast Gohan, but he's still damn good. And then lastly, we do have the Blast Saiyans team. So no core unit here, but you have your Z tier Saiyan in red, and you have your S tier GT Vegeta Super Saiyan 1 right there, right? And you actually do have some good options in the Z tier replacement, specifically that Zenkai Green Kaba, right? And then a lot of S tier replacements as well. For your main team, you do have a lot of tag units. You have the Vegeta Trunks unit, you have the Buu Duo with the Transcendent Kamehameha on turn 4, you have the Evo Ken, you have the Blue Goku, the Spirit Bomb Goku, who's pretty tanky, and then he also has the Solar Flare available to him, and then you have the Revival Nappas. Your survivals are pretty good in general. And then you have the Kaba. Kaba is just, again, like we're kind of just glazing the Kaba right now, but the Kaba does have support. He has heals, he has the chance to double attack, and he's a really fast unit. He's getting like 20% to ki recovery there. He gets ki recovery over here. The only ability that you really don't care about is this 4-turn ability, because his health has to be 30% or lower, but that's okay, we can forgive that. And then of course we do have some new units joining the roster right here, which does include the Evo Vegeta. Definitely someone has to do some testing with him. I don't know how good he is. And then the Revival Goku. So I mean the Revival Goku doesn't look bad, but I don't think he's, oh, we got to put him on there, right? Like we got to put him on the main team. All right, so for the final segment, the new units tab. So we got this purple Jiren right here. Let's take a look at him max stats. I don't have him maxed out just yet, and only at friendship rank 1, right? So strike attack 271k versus the 241k. So that's a big difference, right? A very big difference, and we were putting him on the Blast team's graphics, right? So this is why I'm saying, like, don't be surprised if he gets removed from those, right? His kit is a little weird. He just has the blue card available to him, so his first ability, 65% to damage inflicted, 15% to cuts, and 30% to ki recovery. So that's going to help out a lot. His ki recovery isn't bad, but having a percentage buff to your ki recovery is really nice. On strike or blast arts hit, he gets 10% to damage inflicted and 5% to special move gauge, so getting that 20% a fight is still pretty good. But on a blast arts hit, so this is where it looks weird, right? So his stats, obviously they favor strike, but on a blast arts hit, gets 10% to his own blast damage inflicted for 2 turns, and he's inflicting the enemy with the minus 10% to ki recovery for 2 turns. So that's why his kit is weird to me. When, oh, 271 strike attack, goddamn, you want him on strike, and then he has this ability where it's only on blast. It's just, it looks a little stupid, right? After receiving an attack, he restores his own health by 2%, and he gets 3% to special move gauge. And at the end of turn, he's buffing the whole board for Universe Rep, Event Exclusive, or PO, restoring their health by 1%, so he's a healer, and he's getting another 10% to damage inflicted. And on turn 3, 20% to key recovery for Allied Tag, Universe Rep, Event Exclusive, and PO for 2 turns. So all these units, right? So the whole board. He's canceling the attribute downgrades for them, and he's inflicting all enemies with minus 10% to damage inflicted. And so, if anything, he's gonna remain on the strike teams because obviously the strike stats, strike Z ability, but I don't know, bro. Just this ability right here is just, it's weird that he has that, right? It's odd. And then last but not least, we have this newly Zenkai Revival Goku right here. I don't even think we included him. No, I'm certain we didn't include him on any of the graphics pre-Zenkai. So if he gets removed off of them, it's probably because someone told me like, hey, he's not that good. Let's just go ahead and slide him off of there. He doesn't need to be on there, right? So after transformation, let's look at some of these stats. Like, key restore speed is insane though, right? 2676, that's insane. Before transformation, 2410 is still pretty good. Add friendship rank 1, only has the blue card. So start of the battle, 70% to damage inflicted, 10% to special move damage inflicted, 10% cut, and 15% to special move gauge charge rates. When your health reaches 0, you come back obviously with the 80%, and then you get a 40% damage inflicted, 30% special move damage inflicted, 10% cut, 25% to key recovery. So super duper fast. Obviously, it's kind of hard to get these revival units to pop sometimes, so you can't count on it, is essentially what I'm saying. For the second ability, before receiving a strike or blast, you get your evade. That's only when you're transformed though, right? So when you're just regular Blueku, you're not getting that. Start of the first turn, you activate your special, your green card, 30% to damage inflicted, 50% to special move gauge charge rate for 2 turns, and you nullify abnormal conditions 2 times. And on blast arts, you get 20% to key recovery and 3% to your special move. I don't know why they couldn't just give them the 5. Usually, I feel like that's the norm, is you get the 5% per turn, you know what I mean? But 3%, I guess, is able to. I think one of the best things about him though is his Z ability, since he's buffing both strike attack and blast attack, right? That way he can kind of slide on both teams in a way, and his stat spread is not that different, right? They're very, very close to each other. That's why you do see him on both versions of strike and blast Saiyans. But I don't see him getting too much playtime, right? Like, obviously, we've already established that Pycon is the better revival unit for the Saiyans teams. And that is going to wrap it up for this season's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys in the walkthrough video. Later!